NACVA, welcome and thank you for being here. This is the conference morning edition of Around the Valuation World. Hear it here first, or as I like to say, at least the most interesting hour in business valuation at our conference. You like that, don't you?
That's good.
I'm here with Brian Jones, the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the NACVA. And if you don't know me, I am Greg Caruso. I'm a partner with Harvest. We're business brokers, and we do an awful lot of business valuation. I am the editor of Around the Valuation World. We have a exciting morning packed exciting morning for you. Yes, you can hear me stumbling. I want to thank you all for starting early and being here first thing, although those of you on the East Coast who have been wandering around since 5, not knowing what to do with yourself, I'm not giving you quite as big a pass. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Brian and start off with our agenda for today.
Well, good morning again. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you who are watching live online, good morning as well. Thanks for being with us for this edition of Around the Valuation World. For those of you who are members of the NACVA, we certainly take a lot of effort to keep you updated, not only on technical issues, but issues that impact your practice and also benefits of membership. And so we're going to focus this morning's show on updating you on some of the activities of the association and making some what I think are pretty cool announcements. One of them being that the Around the Valuation World morning show, which is a monthly 2-hour webcast. I think it's the third Monday of each month. We produce a 2-hour show with Greg Caruso as the editor and several of our members who are industry correspondents. They're covering the current topics in the industry, case law, theory, approaches. They interview experts, topics relative to specialty areas of practice. Up to now, that has been a subscription program where the only way you could view it was to subscribe. Well, as of today, all of our members will be able to view Around the Valuation World every month as a member benefit for free.
So you're turning me into a commodity, huh?
Pretty much.
Just the opposite.
We're in Vegas.
Just the opposite of what we're trying to teach everyone else to do.
Yeah. It's a great show. Greg, talk about some of the content and topics that you all cover each month.
Traditionally, we varied. We do at least one interview. We cover everything from basic valuation theory to very complex issues of the day, such as lack of marketability discounts. We have people like Jim Hitchner on. We really cover the gamut. We also cover areas like improving your practice and marketing. And what we're going to start doing in July is we're going to cover a couple specific areas. We're going to try to do a little broader. We're going to start with Valuation Updates, where Michael Gregory updates us on what's going on. We're going to have a section on building your brand. Again, marketing, practice management. I don't know about you. I'm always trying to figure out how to delegate, what professional liability insurance I should be buying, how to actually effectively market on LinkedIn, all those types of topics. Then we're going to do Toolbox. Toolbox is going to cover anything from formulas and simple methods to perhaps computer programs and, again, other ways to do our work using some of our tools. Industry compliance, I think that speaks for itself, no matter how important it is. And then, again, expert insights, which is about a 45-minute interview with true experts in our industry. People like Michael Kaplan, Jim Hitchner, and that caliber. And some of them maybe don't have those names, but they really know their topic, and we dig in a little deeper and make sure we all get something from it. Our goal out of this is to give you something you can really carry forward but to also give you something you can use this week after you listen to the session.
It's a great program. So in the next, yes, a good question. So every month it is a 2-hour program, but to view it, there isn't CPE. Just to view the program and get the information is the member benefit, where previously only subscribers were able to view it. There is a subscription available for CPE where you can earn up to 24 hours of CPE through the year, each month 2 hours. It's also a recommended CPE bonus point program. So if you're going through recertification, you can earn by watching at least 8 hours live. You can earn 12 CPE bonus points. So it's a great program which can escalate you more quickly through earning your CPE requirement for recertification, while you're also keeping up to date on all the latest activity in our profession. If you're interested in subscribing, you can see Whitney or Anthony at the NACVA booth. And of course, you get our great emails. So we will certainly update you about the opportunity to subscribe as well. The next announcement we'd like to make, and invite Zach Myers and Mark Hansen up to join us on stage, is that our standards board over the past several months have been working to provide some additional resources relating to professional standards. Mark Hansen is our outgoing chair of our standards board, and Zach Myers is our incoming chair of our standards board. And we are excited to be able to release some additional tools for U.S. and global professional standards. So thank you for joining us, Zach. Mark, talk a little bit about the project you guys have been championing over the past several months.
Well, it's actually been a couple years.
A couple years.
to be quite honest. I know prior to me even joining the board, Mark Hansen, Mark Cusick, and Carl Steffen, and everyone else on the standards committee had put together the domestic standards board, or the domestic standards chart, comparison chart, which compared the AICPA, NACVA, ASA, IBA, and USPAP standards. That's been around for a while, and we've updated that and spent quite a few hours doing that. I know I started working back in 2016 on the International Valuation Standards comparison chart. That's been a huge project as well. Mark, you have anything?
Yeah, the reason we developed these charts, where we started out with the domestic chart, was there had been some criticism from various governmental regulatory agencies and other individuals about all the different credentialing organization and all the different standards and how they were so confusing to the public. So we started with the domestic chart mainly to determine if there were any issues with the standards. And after we developed that chart, we concluded that all the standards from the various organizations are saying the same thing, and they do not conflict, and that everybody has their own detail and drill down into certain areas that they want to emphasize. But all the standards in domestically basically are saying the same thing. So that should give somebody some comfort level. And then the next stepping stone was the international chart. So we took IVSC, RICS, and the Canadian standards and did the same thing, and we came to the same conclusion. So that was fortunate.
That's very good. For those of you who are not aware, NACVA has established a number of international chapters. As you can see here on the slide, we have a chapter in Africa. Also, well, actually 2 chapters in Africa, one of them focusing on the CVA credential, the other on our financial litigation credential. India, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Taiwan. All of these chapters comply with the same requirements for the CVA, testing, recertification, and it was important to us as an organization to support those chapters as well with standards related tools. So you can actually go to the NACVA website, as Mark and Zach have mentioned, nacva.com/standards. You can see that we've updated the business valuation appraisal standards comparison chart, as well as the international business valuation appraisal standards comparison chart. So why do you all feel that standards may be an important reason why our members should really focus on the standards and compliance and helping them in their practice? Maybe a quick tip from each of you on the standards.
Kind of a broad question there.
Yeah.
I mean, no one should want to be or desire to be non-compliant, obviously. Standards are very important. The standards, the principle-based standards that NACFA has, I mean, and just to be clear, there's been a lot of talk about harmonization of standards. We talked about that. I just want to be very clear here. Harmonization of standards does not mean one set of standards. Harmony by default means many people or many standards organizations working kind of together as one. It doesn't mean one set of standards. It doesn't mean a soprano just sitting there singing by himself or herself. It means one set of standards. I think the charts do a very good job at showing how the various standards bodies, both domestically and internationally, harmonize with one another. But just to be clear, harmonization does not mean consolidation, and it does not mean, unification even necessarily.
Yeah, I think, obviously standards are very important for public perception. And when you go to the standards comparison charts, you'll see it's all based on NACVA standards. And then everything goes from, and obviously we did that for the NACFA membership. But I think just as important as looking at the chart, and the chart is almost a visual aid in that you can see where each individual standards of NACVA has a corresponding paragraph or section in another organization's standards. But probably more importantly, in looking at the chart, is to go look at the footnotes. When we develop the standards, each organization has their own interpretation and what they want to emphasize. And I think we tried to not interpret standards. We tried to not make standards fit ours. Where it was very obvious, it was a match. Where it was not obvious, but we thought, well, you could almost interpret it as being, this standard or that standard. We put it as a footnote. So look at the chart, but look at the footnotes, and the footnotes will tell you the nuances and the little differences in the various standards.
Great. Well, thank you both, Mark, Zach, for working with our board to organize these standards, and to the other members of our standards board and other credentialing boards within NACVA and the other organizations, the AICPA, the ASA, the Canadian Institute of Chartered Business Evaluators. All of these organizations have supported and collaborated this project with us. So we're glad that you championed that. Be sure to visit the website and take advantage of those tools. If you have questions about the standards, you can also reach out to our standards committee members. They'll be happy to field your questions and give you some advice and mentoring. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. The next big piece of news we're very excited to announce is that NACVA's credential has been reaccredited with the North American, let me get my little cheat sheet here, National Commission for Certifying Agencies, which is a division of the Institute of Credentialing Excellence. 10 years ago, NACVA applied for this certification with the Institute of Credentialing Excellence, and we renewed our accreditation with them in May of this year. The accreditation proves to the world that the CVA credential meets the highest standards on the globe for integrity, objectivity, quality, and complies with a worldwide set of standards. NACVA attained this accreditation for the same reason many of you attained the CVA, and that is to make a statement to the world that you have proven to an independent body that you meet a certain level of expertise, are qualified to provide specialized service, and comply with industry-recognized standards in the performance of your work. NCCA has a very high bar for organizations who want to earn this accreditation, with rigorous standards that address every aspect of the organization's policies, procedures, systems, controls, and processes centering around examination, but run the full gamut of operations. The process really focuses mainly on psychometrically developed and a validated body of knowledge, the exam, the grading process, and expands to every single detail of operations, from security measures to pass-fail communications to marketing to public notices, as well as the job descriptions of the staff at headquarters and the graders who were involved in the credentialing process. Transparency underscores this entire process. One thing that can help you appreciate NACVA's level of accomplishment is to go to the NCCA's website, which is www.credentialingexcellence.org, to see who the members of the organization are, but many of those members have not accredited their certifications. NACVA has. Very few organizations and their credentials can comply with the rigorous standards because it is a lot of work. We also engage a psychometrician as well as a credentialing consultant to support us to ensure we are complying with these standards for this certification. No other business valuation credential has this certification, and it's something you as CVAs should boast about. It distinguishes your certification above any other valuation credential. So we are proud to say that. These seals are available for you to download from our website that you can add to your website yourself, or your business cards or your notices to your clients. You can boast about the quality, integrity of your credential, and we appreciate our Valuation Board, Credentialing Board members, our headquarters staff, and others that have supported this process. Very great news.
I'm going to go look up what psychometric
It's
exactly means.
a
this
statistician who reviews every single time we proctor the exam, we have a statistician reviewing those results from the candidates, where we can tell in real time if there are areas within the body of knowledge that our instructors need to focus more attention on, or develop more curriculum on, or if there are specific questions within the exam that are being missed, for example, consistently. We get this feedback from the psychometrician so we can adjust in real time our training so that we're sticking to the body of knowledge, preparing folks through the training to pass the exam. So it's a step of quality and excellence that we're proud to be able to boast about with the NACVA and our CVA certification. We are hoping in the near future to apply for this accreditation with our MAFF, our Master Analyst in Financial Forensics certification. And as we do and put forward that project, we'll certainly keep our membership aware. So that's what a psychometrician is.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
My little nerd action for the day. All right, our next great announcement, we'll invite Michael Kaplan and Melissa Sungenis-Black to join us on stage. We are very excited to announce a pro bono program as well as a mentoring program. Michael Kaplan, many of you have probably had a class with him. He is a prior Executive Advisory Board Chair, as well as a prior Board Chair for our Litigation Forensics Board. He also helped to establish, over 2 decades ago, the MAFF, our Master Analyst in Financial Forensics certification. I mean, he's no stranger to the NACVA. Melissa Sungenis-Black is the President and CEO of Expert Witness Exchange. We'll also discuss in this segment a partnership that we have with Expert Witness Exchange, but we'll start with the pro bono program. Michael, tell us a bit about it.
Pro bono program is a very, very exciting program. Those of us who do our valuation and financial forensics work in the context of legal matters, in the context of lawsuits, in the context of assisting counsel to get their cases resolved, I know that we've all had attorneys reach out to us over the years and ask us if we might be available to help on a case. There are no fees to be derived from it. It's a case that the attorney is doing pro bono. In our profession, we typically don't have the background and the ongoing recognition of a pro bono segment of the practice. Several years ago, I had the privilege of meeting Neil Steinkamp at the Stout Rhesus Ross firm, And I learned that he had created within his firm a pro bono services department where they work in coordination with attorneys, with nonprofits, and with those who have pressing issues, pressing legal issues. They need not only legal services, but they need valuation financial forensic services. They just don't have the economics to support the cost of it. Many times we're dealing with nonprofit organizations or smaller businesses in economically disadvantaged areas. And I realized that these particular requirements would really be a great opportunity for our membership, for CVAs, for MAFFs, for other professionals who are very, very, skilled and perhaps want to get more experience, or just as importantly, reach out and make more connections in the legal community, meet other practitioners, our peers who practice law, who have good and paying cases that at some time they can bring us into. But this really gives us an opportunity to branch out. So I took the idea back to Brian, to Parnell. We discussed it and realized that a pro bono arm of the NACVA would be a great opportunity to create greater exposure for our organizations, for our members, create opportunities. Many members ask me, how do I break into the forensics field? How do I get my experience? Well, pro bono is an excellent, excellent way to do it. And you can kind of fast track your experience by being there and helping organizations and individuals who really need it. We also have built into the pro bono program, and let me tell you, the Litigation Forensics Board worked very, very hard on designing the program, the criteria, and we also implemented a mentoring program. So for those people who are less experienced in valuation and financial forensics, who want to do pro bono, but are a little bit, have some degree of concern about whether they're doing it the right way. They know they don't have the same seasoning as the practitioners, the professionals who've been around for years or decades. We have a group of mentors who will be assigned to the less experienced individuals. So it's a great opportunity to connect with the legal community, great opportunity to give back to the greater community, to the nonprofits and those who are less fortunate than we are. So I think it's just a great program all the way around.
Yeah, we're really excited to have launched this program and to be able to learn more about it and to participate, either expressing your interest to mentor a member who would like some experience, or if you are a member who needs a mentor, you can do that by going to NACVA's website and clicking on the member directory. Within the member directory profile, you can apply to be a member who would be available as a pro bono expert. So there is an application process that will be reviewed and approved by our Litigation Forensics Board. And so once we field those possible engagements from attorneys through our Litigation Forensics Board, they will match the members who have been approved as a pro bono expert with that firm or attorney that's looking for that expert. And if you are a member who isn't as seasoned, you can also, in that process, ask for a mentor to help you with that pro bono engagement. You want to talk a little bit about that, Michael? How that might work and the concept behind the mentoring and the partnership with the attorney?
Sure. What we envision is that the attorneys, the members of the legal community, will reach out to NACVA through the headquarters, through our headquarters, and the individuals who are in the group who have volunteered to be mentors will be matched to the case. They will be, they'll be given appropriate contact information to make the connection. And those individuals who, by virtue of their experience, their newness in the profession, who clearly need to have a mentor, the Litigation Forensics Board, in reviewing the application, reviewing the individual's criteria, will assign a mentor and will make a mentor available. So that person's always just an arm's reach away, or just a phone call away. And throughout the process, it will ensure that the pro bono, the recipient of the services, the law firm, the individual, the nonprofit, are getting services, pro bono services, but at the highest level of professional standards as we, as NACFA members, can deliver.
That's a great program, which is a nice segue into our affiliation with the Expert Witness Exchange. We have Melissa Dungeness Black with us, who is the president and CEO of Expert Witness Exchange. About a year ago, we entered into the partnership with them, and I'll let you tell us a little bit about it, Melinda.
So the Expert Witness Exchange is an online marketplace that connects attorneys and subject matter experts for cases that are in litigation. The difference between a marketplace and an online directory is that the marketplace is designed to actually allow both parties to completely transact business throughout the course of the case, right on the platform securely. What that means is that the attorney can come in and search, can locate you, can send you an invitation by clicking an email that will go directly to you. You'll have a notification put in your email box and probably also flash up on your smartphone. And then you can actually log right in and communicate on the platform, either through email, chat, or click to call. You can actually launch a telephone call right there. In addition, the attorney can share documents with you, confidential documents that only experts that have accepted the case can see. You can also send back to them documents through the platform as well. In addition to that, we've also made it very easy for you to upload your invoicing. We already would have stored in the platform a method of payment for the attorney who's retained you, which streamlines the process. You don't have to worry about getting paid. If there's a question about your invoice, again, the attorney can just interface with you directly on the platform. All of the platforms secure. The payment platform is PCI compliant. We don't store any of your payment information. I know that's one of the concerns that many of the experts who I work with have asked. It's through a company called Stripe Connect. That's a plugin for the platform. The probably the most important feature is the expert profile itself. Because there are many components to it. There's activating a profile, and then there's actually enhancing your profile, which we will work with you to do so that your profile will come up ranked amongst the top few in the search results on the platform. There's a few ways that you can do that. One of them is that you will work with me and my staff to make sure that your keywords and your disciplines and expertise areas are properly affixed to your profile. And that's very simple to do. The other way is through the Expert Witness Validation Badge, which Michael Kaplan serves on our Expert Witness Validation Badge Committee. It's a vetting process, very thorough vetting process, so that you will be put through that in advance of a case retention. It's an annual renewal. And it basically tells any attorney interested in retaining you that you've gone through this process. Everything in your background, your qualifications, criminal background check, civil judgments against you, all of that's been vetted. And again, that goes out to a third party company that this is what they do. The validation badge, once you attain it, is yours. You may display it on your own website, on your own materials, and then just if it's on your website, if they click on the badge, it'll go right back to our site to explain to any attorneys that are interested in retaining you exactly what that means and why you now have a expert witness validation badge, so that they can be assured that there will be no surprises in court and deposition. You won't be discredited because of any black marks on your background or qualifications. So that in itself is very unique, because one of the best kept secrets, or maybe worst kept secrets in litigation, is that most attorneys don't check out the background of the experts they're retaining. They rely on whatever the source is that referred it. And it could be the guy down the hall or across town that said, hey, I used this person before, and that's about as much as they vet them. Then there are many cases, and you can go to our website. There are a couple of articles written by Paul Levin. I think there's going to be one soon in your newsletter that will cite cases where issues have come up. There are many that, and it's something that you want to avoid. If you're a expert with in good standing, why not show it? One other thing is that Michael has been a huge supporter, as have Parnell and Brian. So the expert witness validation badge, you may apply for it, obtain validation pending status, and defer your payment for the validation badge until your first retention. So for NACVA members, it is a no-risk obligation. You pay nothing. Your profile's up there. We'll work with you to enhance your profile. You can obtain validation pending status, and you haven't put out one dime until you get your first retention through our platform. Do you have anything to add, Michael? Because
You've covered it.
We also are supportive of the fact that you have a pro bono program, and you can extend that to pro bono work through our platform as well. And we are also going to be offering, although your organization does a great job of continuing education, but we are going to support experts in all disciplines to make sure that they have all of the training that they can to be the best experts that they can.
I believe also, Melinda, there's an option for E&O insurance.
There is. Many experts, especially those that are new to expert witness work, don't realize that their professional liability insurance will not extend to their expert witness work. So we've developed an E&O insurance plan just for expert witness work. It's not individually underwritten. If you are interested in it, you can either go to our website or stop by and see me. You basically fit into an area, and then we give you what your premium would be. It's administered by Locked in Affinity, a company in Missouri, and it's underwritten by Lloyd's.
Great. Well, thank you both for all these efforts you've put into supporting the opportunity for each of you to get more exposure and more engagements. If you're interested, Melinda will be in our exhibit hall, so stop by and visit her. You can also visit the expertwitnessexchange.com website and get started for no risk. Thank you both.
Great.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Sounds great.
This is the most finicky remote that I've ever used. It's a good one, though. It's getting me forward. Kirk Bowden, our marketing manager, is going to join us now. NACVA certainly does a great job at providing continuing education and credentialing, lots of resources. But we also go to great lengths to promote the value of the CVA to the individuals who would use your services. And we've developed some tools recently that will also help you to promote your credential and your practice. We'll start with Daryl, if you wouldn't mind, running these 3 videos for us. Thank you, Daryl. So these 3 videos will be available to NACVA members to download from our website. You go to nacva.com/marketing. You can load these onto your website, use them in your marketing materials. Talk a bit about...
They're terrific. They're also, today's world with social media and with so much exposure, video is becoming a larger and larger vehicle. I don't know if it's due to our short attention spans or we'd like to be entertained. But a lot of times people relate more to a quick video, and these, I think, share a good message and a good branding to what you do in both as an MAFF or as a CVA in the value that you bring. So it's again, they're not long. They're a nice introduction. They're a nice teaser that you can send to someone and say, hey, learn a little bit more about what services I provide. And these messages, we'll be providing a lot more of these kinds of spots, but this is the beginning of wanting to get more video out there.
Mm-hmm. Some additional tools that we have available for you to use to help promote your credential and your practice by logging into your account at nacva.com. Are you going to speak a bit about these, Kirk?
Certainly. We have a lot of times people who ask us for resources that we have. One of the most important is using your credential logos and those seals. And so on the website, I know many of you have called and we've directed you there, but we've tried to consolidate these into an easy area so that you can download whatever files you need, black and white, color, any kind of formats you need. We're also helpful if you find a printer that needs something different or you need something different for a website to help you with that. But they're a great way to use that branding. I really strongly would encourage you to, on your websites and in anywhere you can, your CVs, anywhere you have that, to use that branding, to use those seals, use any CVA seals as a member of that association. We also have media release announcements. This is primarily for new credentialed members as you achieve a new credential. But it's a great information. It's I guess called a boilerplate. It's a way for you to have a starting point as to what to talk about. You may also, if you've had a credential for a while, but you want to try to rejuvenate and get it out, you could certainly reuse that copy. It's not, you just eliminate the content that I just achieved, my credential, but you could certainly reuse that as a way on your websites and in other ways to promote yourself and promote your credential. One thing that we introduced probably 2 years ago was a CVA professional information sheet. We get requests more and more for people to say, how do I explain to people what I do? How do I explain what a CVA does and what value? So we've created 2 versions of this. It's a 2-sided flyer that has information generically about the CVA, about NACVA, about the credential, about what services you provide. And there are 2 versions. There's a version that has just the same information, or not the same information, the information on both sides on a full scale. There's a second version that the second side is shortened up a little bit to allow what we call an imprint area. And those are available as a PDF. You could easily take those to a printer or even do it yourself in a PDF in Adobe to modify and put your own imprint information of name and photo that you can hand that out. But it's a great way. Sometimes it's a little difficult to explain in a nutshell what all of you do. And so this is a great leave behind. It's a PDF you could email to people and you can share with folks. And so that's those two info sheets. So those are some resources that we've developed in hoping you can get your word out and get your name out there and generate new business.
Kirk will be here through the conference at our registration desk and also in our exhibit hall. Most of you probably met him when you registered. Certainly, if you have questions or need some additional support in accessing those tools and how to use them, Kirk can certainly provide you with some support and resources on that. At this point also, I would encourage all of you, if you haven't already, to log into your account at nacva.com and update your member profile directory. We invest a lot of resources promoting the CVA to users of business valuation, judges, attorneys, business owners, so that when they come to our website based on this marketing, they can find you. And the last thing you hope to have is they look in your geographic area and they pull up your profile and there's nothing there. So we encourage you to do that. Take a few minutes to upload your photo, put your website, talk about your areas of specialization, so that if an attorney or a business owner or someone who needs some engagement support, they can find you and learn more about your practice.
Yeah, I think if Brenna can speak to that real quickly. In today's world, you may not realize how much online search is becoming a more predominant thing. when we talk about expert witness and we talk about these kinds of things, people are constantly, that's whenever somebody says, well, what's this going to be, or what's that, or what's an answer, 90 times out of 10, we all say, oh, go Google it. We'll go figure it out. We'll go search for it. And the same thing happens. All of our pages are indexed and these member directories. And so the same thing starts showing up. So it starts building your online profile. And it just feeds it. But it's really great to have as much information about you in as many different places. So you start circulating.
And so that's the end of today's show. Hopefully you've gotten some good value out of it. This show was really focused on association news, member benefits, letting you know some of the activities our boards and committees are taking on your behalf. Throughout the rest of this week, the Around the Valuation World morning show will be hosted by Greg and other of our members who are correspondents, actually covering topics, bringing on presenters. So more technical content will be discussed. Certainly, if you come this early in the morning, through the rest of the week, you'll earn CPE. Again, for those of you who joined us online, thank you. Hopefully, you'll join us throughout the rest of the week. And I certainly would like to have your feedback on this show, the conference itself. So jot down my email, shoot me some comments or feedback or any ideas that you think that the organization can help to make your practice stronger. We certainly want to hear from you. We care and love our members, and we want to serve you to our fullest ability so you can be successful in your practice. Thank you for joining us this morning, Kirk, and to the rest of our guests, Greg. Have a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you out through the conference.
Thank you all.